You don't need a $100,000 developer team or a 6-month roadmap to launch a software as a service. You just need a few minutes and this specific AI workflow. We are building a full-stack, real-time AI-powered to-do list app using Firebase and Gemini. And guess what? It's more secure than most manually coded apps. So stick around because I'll be showing you secret prompting tips and tricks, including 4 unique troubleshooting methods that fixes the #1 error that terminates most AI projects and stops most developers in their tracks. Let's get to it. To begin creating our project or developing our app, we go to firebase.studio, and on the welcome screen, you can see right from the landing page that this is the full stack AI workspace. Firebase Studio accelerates your entire development lifecycle with AI agents, build backends, front ends, and mobile apps all in one place. We click on Get Started at top right corner of the screen. This brings us to the Firebase prototyping agent, and here we can provide our prompt for it to begin prototyping our application. To begin, if you have difficulties knowing what to type as a prompt for the prototyper to begin prototyping this application, we can always use the power of Gemini. We can use Gemini to assist us with providing just the right prompt for our application, and we can then copy and paste the prompt to the prototyping agent. Here is an example of a prompt for our to-do list application. My sample prompt goes thus: provide textual prompt. Do not include code for a real-time to-do list application. Key features include. So here, the do not include code here goes for the purpose that mostly when you provide a prompt relating to get a feedback containing development-related concepts, mostly Gemini will return some lines of code in line with the application you are trying to build. But here, we are not looking to be provided with code. We are looking to be provided with textual prompts that can be used to generate such codes. If you do not mention that it should not include code, it will box up a whole lot of code in the feedback you will get. Meanwhile, it will not serve your purpose. It will just make everything more cumbersome and lengthy. So for the features, I just mentioned the exact features for our app. That is create, read, update, delete, simple data modeling, basic user interface. Now I'll submit and wait for response. In the response, Gemini is still trying to provide us with some code. It says, I'm unable to provide a textual prompt without code for a real-time to-do list application. Providing code will be necessary to demonstrate the functionality and features you describe. If you would like me to create the code for you, please let me know. And still will insist, do not create code, provide textual prompts I can use in Google Firebase. And there we have it. We can copy this prompt straight and paste into the Firebase prototyping agent. You can as well use this as a head start and modify the prompt to best suit your need, and we proceed in Firebase Studio. In Firebase Studio, I just go straight to the point and tell it a real-time to-do list application. Tell it about the key features as mentioned before, and I'll hit prototype with AI agent. Here, it gives us a feedback after comprehending the features and everything we required or requested for our application. Here, it starts by providing a name for this application as real-time task flow. The features, users can add new to-do items, real-time synchronization, updates from other collaborators push without refresh, task listing, display list of tasks, update task status, delete tasks, smart task prioritization. Now, it finds a way to include AI features to make the app even more powerful. So this smart task prioritization suggest the next task to work on based on an estimate of which is easier using an AI tool. User can manually override, so it just proposes this to you, but you can go along with what you intended to do in the first place. Now it mentions the user interface. Here it mentions the color it intends to use, how you organize the layout, the stack. Now this is about the features being used in the background. It uses Gemini and Uncaught, the development environment. And for the user interface, it uses TypeScript, Next.js, and Tailwind CSS. If we need to make any modification, we can click on Customize and we can input the necessary modifications. But if we are okay to prototype based on these features presented to us, we can continue with prototype this app. So I'll click prototype this app. Here it shows us the progress it's making generating the code. Here we have the starting point for this application. This has taken about 2 to 3 minutes to prototype and bring us this feedback view. And also the application notices based on the features we recommended or requested, we will need a Gemini API key so it can process the AI features it proposed in the application. Here it makes it easier for us that we can auto-generate a Gemini API key. I'll click auto-generate. Now it is generating Gemini API key. It has taken some time and provided us with a Gemini API key and auto-updated the Gemini key into our development environment of this application. Then it gives us a feedback that the first iteration of your app prototype is ready. Try it out in the preview window and describe the changes you would like to make below. Want to make changes directly? Hit the code button at the top or click below. So you can click edit the code or click this switch to code mode. And the preview window it's talking about is the window to the left showing our app current state. Real quick, I'll start making adjustments or modifications to the app right away. I'm mentioning Firebase should make the app more broad by adding useful navigation tabs like dashboard and other necessary tabs to enhance the features of this app. Real quick, we've had our app updated and with a navigation bar to the left from the preview section here. We have a dashboard. It says, welcome, this is your new dashboard. You can add widgets and analytics here. We have the task tab, we have settings. As we make progress, we will have even more features added to the dashboard, the tasks, and the settings. To better prompt Firebase Studio to best understand the changes you intend to make in your application, it is very important to use screenshots. So you can screenshot the section you intend to make the change. Then you can map the exact portion you intend the changes to be made and submit to Firebase Studio, and it will make the necessary changes. Here, after providing a screenshot highlighting the task navigation menu, I now tell Firebase Studio to initialize and create the task tab features. Let's try it out now. And there we have it. We have an interface for the task. So it says task, manage your to-do list and get AI-powered suggestions. Here we can add a new task and we can then view available tasks right here. But here it says no task yet, add one above to get started. And it shows we ran into some issues, so let's check and resolve. We'll just tell Firebase to fix error. There were 4 issues, now we have 3, and we'll do the same. We just tell Firebase to fix error. I did handle the errors that popped up, but after that I ran into even more errors. So I'm making sure we see the whole workflow without skipping some very important parts, because one thing about building applications or vibe coding related activities is about how you handle the errors from the machine side. So it's not only about just a perfect workflow. It's just obvious and normal. You may run into some few errors, but the main thing is about how you resolve such errors when they occur. One way of resolving errors, especially if you don't know what is going on. I mean, if you are just vibe coding and you have no idea about what's going on in the backend, at times you may click to fix the error for Firebase to automatically resolve it, and at times it may put you in a loop of finding one error after resolving one, finding a new error after resolving the previous one. You can just screenshot the error you see on the screen and save it as an image file, then go to Gemini and let it know about the error you are facing. First, I came to Gemini and gave it context about what I'm trying to do. Before now, I can tell it about the error I just ran into. I first of all tell it I'm building a real-time to-do list application in Google Firebase. I tell it about the key features. Then, after it understands what I'm trying to do, I can now tell it about the error I faced. I'm telling it after prototyping the app, I ran into this error. Then I submit the screenshot of the error from Firebase Studio. It's providing an error analysis and how to fix. Gemini here explains that the error is coming from how Firebase is trying to locate documents from the database. It mentions project, so here it's trying to reference and locate a file. It looks for projects, database, default, documents. It says paths must not contain a double slash in them. Indicates that you have a double slash in your Firestore path. This usually happens when you are building a path string and accidentally add an extra slash, for example, database.collection to-dos add and that. It is realizing here that Firestore has probably added 2 slashes instead of 1. So we'll revert back to Firebase and look into what is going on. Back in Firebase Studio, I'll just copy the file path having the error, and in the prototyping agent, I'll just provide it the current line that is not working and provide it the correction and see if it can make a modification on its own in the file path. It seems this still contains the same referencing. We can as well look into the file where this line is located and just make the edit manually. Here it shows us a possible link to where this file referencing is. It shows us it should be in this file path. We can as well ask Gemini to help us with the file path. I'm asking Gemini, how can I locate this file path in Firebase Studio? Here, Gemini tells us to revert back to our Firebase console and check under the build section and look into our Firestore database. We move to firebase.console and check to see all projects, so you can make sure to choose the exact project you are working on. Here, we refresh the tab to see an updated list of all projects, and now we can choose our exact project. Now we move to the build section and Firestore database. After navigating to the Firestore database, I can notice our app does not have a database yet. I'll proceed to create database. I'll choose the standard edition. For location, your location setting is where your Cloud Firestore data will be stored. We can start in production mode or test mode. It's always preferable to start in test mode so that it provides a smooth flow with how you interact with your database. Then you can later switch to production mode to make it even more rigid. And now we have our database created. Now it says your database is ready to go, just add data. I'll revert back to Firebase Studio and let it know about the update we just made in the database. I'm telling the prototyping agent I have created a new database for this app in Firebase console under Firestore database. Use the database for this app. After understanding our request, it has already dealt with some of the issues we were facing, and now it is requesting to parse the new database created with our application. So it's asking create Firebase project. We'll continue with create. Now it says your app is now configured to use Firebase project. As a next step, you will need to go to Firebase console to set up the appropriate security rules for your database to ensure it's secure. That's some good progress.
I'm delighted we made it through vibe coding this powerful and amazing app. Do well to leave your thoughts or contribution in the comments. Like, subscribe, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Cheers!